The question that shook Cole Ashford's heart was simple. Why would a woman ride 100 miles alone just to hide in a broken town like Greybute? The noon dust still floated through the air when she walked into town. Her brown traveling dress was marked with the red dirt of long miles, her boots worn down to smooth leather. Cole watched her from the shadow of the old jail porch, turning an unlit cigarette between his fingers. 20 years in this land had taught him one thing. Some folks walked into town with a story written right on their shoulders. This woman carried trouble like a second shadow. She stopped at the water trough outside Murphy's General Store, dipping her shaking hands into the warm water and splashing her face. That's when Cole saw it, the fresh purple bruise along her left cheek. Not an accident, not a fall. A man had done that. When she lifted her head, her eyes met his. They were the color of warm honey, tired but fighting not to break. Cole stepped out into the sun. "Ma'am, you need help?" She froze. Her hand went to her throat where something silver glinted under her collar. "I just need somewhere to rest. Just for a while." "Hotel's 2 buildings down." He pointed to Watson's place. Her voice cracked. "I can't go there, please. Just somewhere quiet. Somewhere safe." Safe. That word struck Cole like a blow. He hadn't heard it in months, not since Sheriff Briggs died and left the town to dust and fear. Safe was a word people hoped for, not one they had. "There's a cot in the old jail," Cole said. "Roof leaks sometimes, but it's better than the street." Relief softened her face. She looked younger for a moment, maybe no more than 25. "I can pay." "No need." Cole opened the jail door for her. "Name's Cole Ashford, used to be deputy." "Eliza," she hesitated. Eliza Hart. Inside, dust floated in warm beams of sunlight. Cole brought her a wool blanket. Her hands were trembling so hard she could barely hold it. "You hungry?" he asked. "Mabel over at the Yellow Rose makes good stew." "Thank you," she whispered. "I won't cause trouble, I promise. I just need a place where nobody will find me." Cole paused at the doorway. "That bruise needs tending. Doc Morrison can help." "No." Her voice was sharp, frightened. "No doctors." Cole knew that tone. Folks who'd been hurt by people with authority often learned to fear help more than danger. "All right," he said softly, "if you change your mind. Mabel can help too." When he stepped outside, the sun was already sinking. The heat was thick. Cicadas screamed in the cottonwoods. Cole sat on the porch again, but his thoughts never left the woman inside. Something else haunted him, the silver glint at her throat. Some kind of locket. When the telegraph operator, Tobias Finch, rode in fast with dust flying off his horse, Cole felt the air change. "Cole!" Tobias gasped. "Wire came from Millerton. They're looking for a young woman. Brown hair. Traveling alone. Wanted for questioning about a theft from the Wexler estate. They're offering $100 for information." Cole's cigarette froze halfway to his mouth. The Wexler name carried power from here to Austin. A cruel judge with crueler sons. Cole had faced them years ago. He still carried the scars. "Lots of young women with brown hair," Cole said carefully. "Not like this one." Tobias stared toward the jail. Saw someone go in earlier. New arrival. Cole lied before he could think. "My cousin from El Paso, recently widowed." Tobias frowned. "Funny, you never mentioned a cousin in 5 years." "We ain't close," Cole said. "Family's complicated." Tobias looked at him a long time, then let out a slow breath. "Well, my memory's been poor lately. Couldn't describe a new arrival if my life depended on it." When Tobias left, Cole walked back to the jail. Eliza was standing outside the door, hands tight around her shawl. "I should leave," she said. "I'm bringing danger to your town." "Sit," Cole said calmly, pointing to the chair beside him. "Running in the dark gets folks killed. Tell me what you're running from." She studied him. The wind lifted a loose curl from her cheek. Then she pulled the silver locket out. "This belonged to my sister Lydia," she said in a shaking voice. "She died 3 months ago at the Wexler estate. They said she stole from them, but she didn't. She was only 17. Cole felt his gut twist. "My sister left me a letter," Eliza whispered. Said if anything happened to her, I should find a man named Ashford in Greybute, the only one who ever stood up to the Wexlers and lived. Cole froze. She wrote that? Eliza nodded. She said you'd know what to do. What did she see? Cole asked softly. Eliza unclasped the locket. Inside was a folded piece of thin paper. She handed it to him. I can't read it, she whispered. Please, will you? Cole opened it. The words hit him like a punch. Murder. Land theft disguised as Indian raids. The judge's son herding girls who never returned. Proof hidden in the study. Run. Find Ashford. Cole folded the paper slowly. You're safe now, he said. But he knew it wasn't true. Danger was already coming, and by morning it would be on their doorstep. He looked at Eliza Hart, this frightened, determined young woman holding her sister's last truth against her heart. Cole Ashford made a choice, one that would change everything. Stay close, he said. Whatever's coming, we'll face it together. Cole Ashford knew trouble was close the moment the three riders appeared on the horizon. They moved like men with purpose. Men who were being paid. He knocked softly on the jail door. Eliza Company's coming. She stepped out quickly, already dressed, hair pinned tight, bruise on her cheek darker now. She carried her sister's locket under her collar like it was the only thing keeping her alive. How many? She whispered. 3 for now, Cole said. But more will come. She swallowed hard. What do we do? For now, we keep our story straight. He handed her a cup of hot coffee he'd picked up from Mabel's. Ready? She nodded, even though fear shook her hands. They walked to the Yellow Rose Cafe, where Mabel was already waiting. The older woman took one look at Eliza's face and pulled her inside. This her? She asked under her breath. Cole nodded. My cousin, Elizabeth from El Paso. Good, Mabel said. I'll play along. Quote. They sat in the corner as Mabel placed breakfast in front of them. Eliza tried to eat, but every sound outside made her flinch. Then the bell over the cafe door rang. 3 men entered, trail worn, armed, eyes sharp. Cole recognized the leader, the scarred man from yesterday, Dalton. He approached the counter, speaking loud enough for everyone to hear. We're looking for a woman, brown hair, might be injured. Wanted for questioning at the Wexler estate. The cafe went quiet. Not a spoon stirred. Every set of eyes hardened. Folks in Greybute had long memories. The Wexlers had squeezed this town dry years ago. Mabel stepped forward, wiping her hands on her apron. Can't help you, mister. Only newcomer here is my nephew's cousin from El Paso. Dalton turned slowly, eyes scanning the room before landing on Cole and Eliza. Your cousin, huh? He asked. Cole kept his face calm. That's right. Funny, Dalton said. Your cousin showed up the exact same day a woman went missing from Millerton. Lots of women in Texas, Cole said evenly, most trying to get somewhere safe. Quote, Dalton smiled a cold smile. You're a smart man, Ashford, but smart don't beat money. And the Wexlers are paying. Eliza lowered her voice, staying in character. My name is Elizabeth Perkins. My husband died of fever. I came here for family. Dalton looked her over slowly, cruelly, like she was something he could buy. Cole's jaw tightened. Watch your manners. Dalton stepped closer. Or what? Before Cole could answer, a new voice cut in. Or the good Lord will see to you himself. Everyone turned. Father Quinn stood in the doorway of the cafe, hands clasped behind his back, eyes blazing with quiet fire. Mister, he continued, you're chasing shadows while ignoring your own sins. Now leave these people be. Even Dalton paused. Fighting a town was one thing. Fighting a priest was another. He backed up, motioning to his men. We'll be around, he said. If anyone remembers anything, $100 goes a long way. They left, the door slamming behind them. Eliza sagged in her chair, shaking. Thank you, she whispered. Cole squeezed her hand under the table. You held strong. You did good. But danger was far from over. That afternoon, Cole moved Eliza from the jail to Mabel's small room above the cafe. It was safer, harder for strangers to search without raising questions. But news traveled fast. Before sundown, Mabel stormed upstairs. "They're searching the town," she said. "Door to door, asking everyone if they've seen a girl who stole from the judge." Quote. Eliza froze. Stole? They lied about Lydia stealing too. Cole grabbed his hat. "They'll come here next. We need to move." They slipped out the back alley into the thin evening light. But they didn't get far. "Cole," Eliza whispered. "Look." 3 riders blocked the far end of the alley. Dalton stepped out from behind a wagon, gun in hand. "Knew you were hiding something." Cole pushed Eliza behind him. "Easy now," he said. "This town won't let you take her." "We ain't asking, the town." Before Dalton could raise his gun, a loud clatter broke the moment. Samuel Murphy's wagon pushed into the alley, nearly clipping Dalton. He leaned over the side of the wagon. "Need a ride?" the old man asked calmly. "Go!" Cole shouted. Eliza climbed in, Cole right behind her. Murphy snapped the reins, the horses lunging forward. Gunshots cracked behind them, bullets hitting the wagon bed. Eliza screamed as a bullet splintered the wood near her feet. "Hold on!" Murphy yelled. They raced through back roads and dry creek beds until Dalton's men were far behind. By the time they reached the Bradley Ranch outside town, night had fallen like a blanket. "You can hide here," Murphy said. "Town's too hot now." Cole helped Eliza down from the wagon. Her hands were ice cold. "You all right?" he asked softly. She nodded shakily. "I thought he was going to kill you." Cole brushed dirt from her cheek. "I'm not dying today. Not while you need me." Her eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry. I've dragged you into danger." "You think I'd let you face this alone?" Cole said. "Your sister trusted me. I won't fail her, or you." The Bradley family set them up in an old bunkhouse behind the ranch. A simple wooden room with one small window, 2 cots, and a lantern. It was enough. That night, as wind howled across the plains, Eliza finally broke. She sat on the edge of the cot, trembling. "They killed Lydia," she whispered. "And now they want to kill me too. They'll never stop." Cole knelt in front of her, holding her hands. "They will stop," he said. "I promise you, I'll protect you. And together, we'll bring the truth into the light." Her breath shook. "What if they find us?" "They won't," Cole said, voice firm. "Not while I'm breathing." Eliza rested her forehead against his. "I don't want you to let go," she whispered. "Not now. Not ever." Cole tightened his grip. "I won't. I swear it." Outside, a distant coyote howled. Inside that small room, 2 people who had lost too much held on to each other like they'd finally found something worth living for. But morning would bring danger again, and the Wexlers were already on the move. Cole woke to the faint sound of horses in the distance. Not ranch hands, not neighbors, men trying to stay quiet. "Eliza," he whispered. "Get up, they found us." Quote. Her eyes filled with fear, but she nodded. She grabbed the locket and the folded letter, slipping both into her dress. Cole loaded his revolver with quick, practiced hands. A soft knock came on the bunkhouse door. "Cole?" It was Mr. Bradley. "Riders coming down the ridge. Maybe 8, maybe more." Cole's stomach tightened. "It's the Wexler men!" Bradley nodded grimly. "I'll stall 'em as long as I can, but they're not here for talk." Cole turned to Eliza. "You ready?" "No," she said honestly, "but I'm with you." They slipped out the back of the bunkhouse, moving through the narrow path behind the barn. Cole knew these lands. He had ridden them since he was a boy. There was one place left where they might hide long enough to make a plan. His grandfather's old cabin, hidden deep in the ridge. They moved fast, horses approaching behind them, voices shouting orders. "Eliza, stay close." She stayed right behind him, her breath fast, legs stumbling over rocks but never stopping. A gunshot cracked. Cole spun, pulling her down behind a fallen cedar tree. "They're getting close," she whispered. Cole fired one shot back, not to hit anyone, just to slow them, They kept running until his lungs felt raw. Finally, after nearly an hour of hard climbing, the old cabin appeared through the trees, tilted, weathered, but still standing. "Inside," Cole said. He closed the door quietly behind them. The air inside smelled of dust and pine. Eliza sank onto an old wooden chair, trying to catch her breath. "Cole, what do we do?" "We think," he said. "We don't panic. Your sister trusted me. I won't let her down." She looked at him with something like hope, and something like fear of losing him too. He grabbed her hand. "We're going to survive this." Before she could answer, the sound of hooves echoed faintly through the trees. They had found the trail. Time was running out. For hours the riders circled the ridge. The cabin was small, old, nearly invisible under the trees. But sooner or later someone would get curious. Inside, Eliza paced. She held her arms tight around her body like she was holding herself together. "Cole, what if this is the end?" Quote, "It's not," he said. She shook her head. "You can't promise that." "I can promise one thing," Cole said softly. "I won't leave you. I won't pull back. Not from danger. Not from this fight. Not from you." Her breath trembled. "That's the only thing that scares me, losing you." He stepped closer, holding her shoulders. "Eliza Hart, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." Her eyes filled with tears. Not fear this time, but trust. Just before noon, the riders returned. This time they were closer. Cole peeked through the cracks in the wall. Dalton was with them, and beside him, Clive Wexler himself. Cole's jaw tightened. "That's the man who hurt Lydia." Eliza's voice wavered. "He'll kill us both." Cole checked his gun again. "Not before I make him face the truth." The riders spread out, searching the woods. Then Clive shouted, "Come on out, little girl. We just want what you stole." Eliza flinched. "I didn't steal anything." Cole looked at her gently. "I know, and now the whole world's going to know." Quote. He took the letter from her hands and slipped it inside his shirt. "Even if something happens to me, these words won't die." She grabbed his wrist. "No, don't you talk like that. Don't you leave me. You promised." "And I meant it." He kissed her forehead. Slow, steady, grounding her. Then the cabin door shook violently. "They found us," Eliza whispered. "Stay behind me," Cole said. The door burst open. Dalton came in first, gun raised. Cole fired once. Dalton fell. Clive Wexler shouted from outside, fury twisting his voice. Cole dragged Eliza toward the back window. "We have to run!" "Now!" They dove out just as bullets ripped through the cabin walls. Cole pulled her into the trees, moving as fast as they could. Branches scratched their faces. Rocks tore at their boots. Clive's men chased close behind. Cole grabbed Eliza's hand. "Down the ravine!" They slid down a steep slope of loose dirt, half running, half falling. Shots cracked above them. When they reached the bottom, Cole turned. "We're heading to Greybute." "Straight to Father Quinn. He'll get this letter where it needs to go." Eliza's eyes widened. "You want to run toward town?" "It's the only way." They pushed forward. The sun dropped lower. The riders got closer. Cole was limping now. One bullet had grazed his leg. Every few steps he stumbled, but he never let go of her hand. Eliza felt panic rising. "You're hurt." "Doesn't matter," he said through clenched teeth. "Keep going." They reached the edge of Greybute just as the church bells rang. Father Quinn was standing outside with townsfolk, armed, ready, determined. They had been waiting. Cole pulled Eliza behind him. "They're coming! We need protection!" The townspeople stepped forward, rifles raised. Clive Wexler and his men charged in from behind, but found themselves outnumbered. The townsfolk forced them to drop their weapons. Clive stared at Eliza, his face twisted with rage. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." She stepped forward. "I know exactly who you are. And now everyone else does too." Cole handed the letter to Father Quinn. "This is the proof. Everything Lydia saw. Get it to the marshals." The priest grabbed the letter, nodding. "Justice will come." Clive lunged forward in desperation, but Cole stopped him cold, one final punch sending him to the dust. Eliza rushed to Cole as his knees buckled. "Cole, stay with me!" He wrapped his arms around her, pulling her close, holding her like the only thing keeping him alive was her heartbeat. "I'm not letting go," he whispered. She held him tighter. "And I'm not letting you pull away. Ever." He smiled through the pain. "Good, because I'm staying for good, buried right here in your life, forever." And as Greybute's people surrounded them, protecting them, standing with them, Eliza finally felt something she hadn't felt since her sister died. Safe. Truly safe. The Wexlers would face justice, Lydia's voice would be heard, and Cole Ashford would never leave her side. Not now. Not ever.